Welcome back to Lariat TV News. Saturday is the Baylor Lariat's 125th anniversary. I'm Marissa Muniz.
And I'm Charlie Cole. First, Baylor remembers the legacy of a communications professor who died this week.
The Baylor Communication Department is mourning the passing of former chair Dr. David W. Schluter. Dr. Schluter passed Tuesday evening after a 3-year-long battle with cancer. He served as department chair for 16 years and graduate chair 10 years prior. And after 40 years with Baylor, he retired last semester. His legacy lives on through the communication department and the university as he launched the Baylor in London program, a major part of the department today. Undergraduate director Dr. Jane Dameron says what stood out most about him was his genuine heart and the way he cared for others. She says he was truly everyone's cheerleader.
And, whether it was student conversations after class or him walking down the hallway of Castelaw, popping in all the faculty offices to see how everyone was doing. It was just that genuine, sincere care and interest in the little things, interest in our lives, and wanting the best for us.
The visitation will be held today at 6 p.m. at Grace Gardens Funeral Home, and the service will be Saturday at 11 a.m. at Woodway United Methodist Church.
The Baylor Lariat is celebrating its 125th anniversary this month, and as part of the celebration, it hosted a panel last week. LTVN's Tatum Vickers was there to document it.
7 decades of Lariat editors rolled into Castelaw Friday afternoon to share stories, laughs, and their time leading Baylor's student newsroom.
When I was on the Lariat, when I didn't do anything when I was at first semester sophomore, man, I flubbed everything. But somehow or another, and it's the way I still live, I don't ever want to sit down and do nothing. I want to keep moving to the very last moment.
Over its 125-year legacy, the Lariat has seen 205 editors-in-chief, and among them, some true trailblazers.
I learned here that, and also, it didn't even occur to me in 1988. Were there black editors before me? Were there women editors before me? Were there gay editors? I didn't know. I didn't think about any of this in 1988. I just thought we could do anything.
Since 1968, the Lariat student staff has found local angles to break some of the nation's biggest news stories.
I had an idea of what it would be like to be editor of the Lariat, and then on 9/11, it became making a global story very local for our community. And it was very local in so many ways.
Throughout the years, one thing remained constant: the Lariat's commitment to truth, community, and student voice. For Lariat TV News, I'm Tatum Vickers.
Today, Baylor University officially opens the memorial to enslaved persons on Founders Mall. LTVN's Jacob Stowers is on the ground with the story.
This morning, Baylor University unveiled its Memorial to Enslaved Persons, a memorial that celebrates all that enslaved peoples did to make the Baylor story happen.
To stand here today as we dedicate this memorial, a sacred space that acknowledges the courage, persistence, and enduring legacy of the enslaved men and women whose hands helped build this institution.
Baylor has a rich history of celebrating its founders by erecting statues and monuments in their honor. However, something was missing. The new memorial fills in the gaps.
I love the fact that the monument is located on Founders Mall, because I think that elevates these people that were enslaved and really were required to help build Baylor. They're as much of a founder as Huckins or Tryon or Baylor. Without these people, Baylor doesn't exist.
Over the last few years, many parties have invested countless hours in the memorial's intentional design features. Today, the result of all that planning finally came to fruition.
Overwhelming, a lot of joy in my heart, just to see, as a landscape architect, to see a space being occupied in such a lovely way. It's exactly what we had always dreamt of. This moment, this dedication, and to see people use the space for an event like this, it's what it's for.
With this memorial, Baylor has ensured that the enslaved peoples who are a part of their story will forever be remembered. For Lariat TV News, I'm Jacob Stowers.
Baylor's International Justice Mission chapter partnered with campus fraternities to host a student-run thrift store supporting anti-human trafficking efforts. Students could shop the pop-up at various campus locations, browsing clothing donated by their peers. Proceeds benefit IJM initiatives that aid trafficking victims, fund rescue missions, and promote awareness. Chapter President Charlotte George emphasized thrifting as a powerful tool to spark conversation and raise awareness.
We also do with thrifting specifically because we feel like thrifting is a very ethical way to indirectly defund labor trafficking. A lot of people don't know who makes their clothes, and that's because a lot of the times the people who do are very much underpaid.
This Sunday, Central United Methodist Church in Waco is hosting its second annual Chili Cook-Off. The event is meant to raise money for the church's youth program so it can send its kids to overnight camps. Tickets to attend are $10, and there is a $25 fee to enter your own chili in the contest. The cook-off will be from 12 to 2 p.m. following the Sunday service. It has a winter youth camp destination set, but they do not have a location for next summer's camp due to last summer's flooding in Central Texas.
Legislation was passed down in Austin that affects camps that lie within the 100-year floodplain. That they're not able to hold overnight camps beyond 4 days in length. These are only 2 days in the winter, so luckily that's not affected, but I know that the board and the leadership at Loon Lake is actively working.
A local remembrance event brought Waco residents together to honor people who continue to hold a special place in their lives. Savannah Ford has the story.
This luminary represents a life remembered across the Waco Suspension Bridge tonight. Hundreds of lights tell stories of love and hope.
Providence Hospice Community Healthcare of Texas hosted the 4th annual Lights of Love gathering, where candles lined the walkway, kids decorated rocks, and donated flowers were available for families to place with each tribute.
So we are a very community-oriented organization, and so this is a fundraiser that can involve the entire community. It's not just for those folks that have had somebody on our service. So if you walk down the bridge, you'll be able to see names of people that are in memory of, but also people that we are serving in honor of. So we have first responders there, and we have military folks represented.
Those helping with the event say it gives attendees a chance to reconnect with individuals who walked them through difficult moments.
It's just a way that people can honor, love, and then also if they have been a hospice patient, a lot of times it's a way that they can reconnect with their nurse or their chaplain or their social worker.
Volunteers arranged all the displays ahead of the event so families could easily participate. The gathering created a sense of community where stories and memories could be shared.
We mostly worked with just putting out lots of different luminaries, putting little candles under there, and then they also had a lot of personalized rocks, little tokens that they would give to the people who were being dedicated to. So that was most of what we did, just set up.
The warm glow of candles provided a comforting space for reflection, allowing the community to honor and celebrate the lives of loved ones. For Lariat TV News, I'm Savannah Ford.
Next, prior to the memorial dedication, the Lariat had an exclusive early look.
And a Baylor alumni artist came back to where it all started. Stay with us.
I'll never get used to this. I'll never get used to this. This is how I wanna live. Forever we'll be singing like, oh, I'll never get used to this. I'll never get used to this. I'll never get used to this. This is how I wanna live. This is how I wanna live. Forever we'll be singing like, oh, I'll never get used to this.
Baylor's memorial to enslaved persons on Founders Mall is now complete and open to the public. The Lariat got an exclusive first look at the memorial and the symbolism it contains.
In early 2024, construction began on Founders Mall for the memorial to enslaved persons. The memorial's purpose is to acknowledge difficult truths in Baylor's history through its design.
So the fact that Baylor's first 3 presidents, that their co-founders, almost all of the first board of trustees were slaveholders was not unusual. Most men at that time who were of any standing or had any economic prosperity would have been. It was just so deeply embedded into everything in Texas.
The memorial was designed with 4 distinct characteristics in mind to help individuals understand the university's history. These include a water feature made from the same limestone used to build the Independence campus, a scripture passage on freedom, a map showing where enslaved people were in the 1860s, and a residence garden for reflection.
We tried very hard to embody the story of Baylor, to learn as much as we could. And to study the Texas collection and the archives, to go to Independence multiple times, to really understand the traditions and the deep history of Baylor.
The space will serve as a permanent site for remembrance, education, and dialogue about the university's full history through a spiritual lens.
One of the big messages that I think we want to tell with this memorial is not just a reminder of our history, but also a calling toward our future. The 3 R's that I like to bring up whenever we talk about this are really the 3 R's of the gospel, that we're called to reckoning, repentance, and reconciliation.
The grand opening ceremony will happen this Friday at 8:30 a.m. at the Memorial on Founders Mall. For Lariat TV News, I'm Jacob Stowers.
Local artist and Baylor alum Langley Sarovich took the stage Thursday night at Common Grounds, performing a mix of original songs and fan favorites. Known for his heartfelt lyrics and acoustic sound, Sarovich brings a unique blend of instruments, including horns and saxophones, to his performances. Inspired by the loss of his 2 best friends, his songwriting carries a deep emotional core. Sarovich says he hopes his music will help bring the community closer together through shared stories and sound.
So this is a beautiful thing that I'm excited for people to finally see. That my passion for music is not about number of streams, number of performances I can do. It's about bringing people together around music. And the biggest thing that I love bringing people together around is musicians.
Families at the Waco-McLennan County Public Library enjoyed an interactive story time this week, combining books, songs, and creative activities to spark imagination and a love of reading. Puppetry, drama, and read-alouds bring reading to life for young learners. Families enjoyed this session where children could express themselves. Afterward, kids also got to create a craft to take home, extending the fun and creativity beyond the session. The library offers story times every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, giving families multiple ways to engage, learn, and play together.
I think the children can detect and they know when you are into it just as much as they're into it. So I think, when I find books that I really enjoy, that I think are engaging, songs that I feel that will really get the crowd going and that they want to sing, I think all that helps. But to really show that you want to be there, that you care about what you're doing for them, I think makes a big difference.
Over 120 stray Waco dogs have found loving homes thanks to a local woman and her passion for helping animals. She started her own dog rescue, and Baylor students have stepped in to support her dream and help bring in volunteers to the shelter.
Over 120 stray dogs have been successfully rescued by Patricia Meadows and her initiative of Animals Have Hearts Too.
So this is on Patricia's home in Lorena, Texas, and she has built this facility that has very good kennels in an area for the dogs to play and run around, and they just have a lot of space here, and it's just well equipped for them, and they live a very happy life out here, and she runs it from her home, so it's her and her husband and volunteers that come and help when she can't.
And 4 Baylor students have become the liaison who have helped identify the main needs of the shelter and what the dogs need to make a difference.
The way she kind of discovers the dogs is literally just the community knowing who she is and what her mission is. She gets texts and phone calls daily about dogs that are spotted.
It's really a two-way street. We benefit a lot from coming here and just getting to enjoy hanging out with the dogs and everything, and then also the dogs benefit from having that socialization and from having us here to do chores and just help her out with all the things she needs done.
Animals Have Hearts Too welcomes all volunteers to care for the dogs and keep their spaces clean. Visit ahhtoo.com or follow them on Instagram to find more information on how to volunteer. For Lariat TV News, I'm Kendall Rickett.
The Hannon Foundation is a local nonprofit organization that seeks to provide mentorship and a community for high school girls. The foundation has 30 girls this year, representing over 7 high schools, with 71% of the group identifying as Hispanic or Latina, reflecting the foundation's commitment to diversity. The foundation plans to award its first scholarship in 2026 and will launch its first Giving Day campaign on November 17th. The organization is looking for women in the Waco community to be great role models and volunteer to work alongside the girls.
About a year and a half ago, I decided to create a foundation that was just solely for girls. I noticed a need for a nonprofit where girls can get together, because when we're together we have different conversations when we're co-ed. And so I decided to create a nonprofit organization.
The Baylor Lariat, as it is currently known, has been delivering news for the students by the students since 1900. While our passion for reporting news has stayed the same, the way we deliver the news has not. The Lariat continually upgraded its technology through the decades. Alumnus Preston Kirk recounted memories of spending 4 print nights a week, hand-setting type for their print issues in 1967. Fast forward 41 years to 2008, where alumna Claire St. Amant and the Lariat staff were using Adobe InDesign and Mac computers to design pages, tools that still power the newsroom to this day, nearly 20 years later. From typesetting to the Morning Buzz newsletter, the Lariat has been providing the Baylor student body with news for the last 125 years, and we plan to keep doing that.
Our print night was every night because we were the first daily campus newspaper, I believe, in the state of Texas. So we became known as not just the Lariat, but the Daily Baylor Lariat.
Coming up next, we recap both men's and women's first basketball games of the 2025 season.
And preview volleyball's upcoming match. Keep it here.
Blessed are the catalysts, sparking invention from the unknown. Strong are the generous, taking up the call to serve the world. Needed are the peacemakers, seeking common ground for the common good. But don't worry, you can still be fierce on game days. The work you do is faith in action, fueled by the light burning inside you. The world needs who you were made to be. Dare to be you, indeed.
On Monday, men's basketball opened up the season against UTRGV. Aiden Richmond has more from that game.
Monday, Baylor men's basketball tipped off its season at home on the shores of the Brazos. Taking on UT Rio Grande Valley, the Bears would fall behind most of the first half, at one point being behind by 14 with 10 minutes left. But they clawed their way back and with a buzzer beater, would enter halftime with a 9-point lead over the Vaqueros.
It was very nerve-wracking. Everybody was excited. It's first time in the bright lights. This game actually meant something, add to our record. I think we can take a lot from it, learn from it, know that patience will find the right shot. And we started to settle in, as y'all could tell. But from the jump, I think we gotta do better starting of the first half and the second half.
The Bears would continue the flow state they found throughout the second half, outscoring the Vaqueros 50-44. Freshman guard Tunde Yusufo had 24 points while going 10 for 16 on field goal attempts.
I ain't gonna lie, I started a little short because I was a little nervous my first day, but thank God and thank my teammates and my coaches to just give me the confidence to just go out there and rebound and play hard as much as I can. So I'm super grateful to be in this position, and I'm excited for the next ones.
The headline for the Bears on the season is that there are 0 returning players to the team. Head coach Scott Drew has had to find ways to have leadership come from guys who are no longer in a Baylor uniform.
Use our past players. So, and when we say use them, we're blessed that they want to come back, they want to help out, they want to watch. I mean, we get texts all the time from our guys praying for you guys tonight. And then when they do come back, Ray J was here before they played the Mavs, talking with several of the guys.
With 4 players in double-digit points on the night, the Bears would beat the Vaqueros 96-81, getting the team's first win of the season. The Bears will be back at home on Sunday against the Washington Huskies with tip-off set for 7:30. You can catch the game on ESPN. For Lariat TV News, I'm Aiden Richmond.
In its opening game of the season, number 16 women's basketball upset number 7 Duke 58-52. The Bears were led by Talia Scott, who had 24 points, and Dariana Littlepage Buggs, who recorded her 31st career double-double with 10 points and 10 rebounds. Defensively, the Bears blocked 9 shots and had 4 steals. They also scored 14 points off of Duke's 15 turnovers. Baylor will be back in the Foster Pavilion Sunday at 2 p.m. to face Lindenwood. On Friday, volleyball will be back at home for the first time in 2 weeks to take on the West Virginia Mountaineers. During the 2 weeks away, the Bears lost to Iowa State in 3 sets and to Colorado in 4. While ranking right behind the Bears in hitting percentage at 6th, the Mountaineers rank near the bottom when it comes to opponent hitting percentage, kills, and digs, while Baylor ranks in the top 6 for those categories. West Virginia is coming off a 3-set loss to Kansas. It is 1-4 in the last 5 games, which includes losses to Iowa State and a ranked Colorado team.
A mixture of mentality and also like communication and being consistent in that communication throughout practices and everything, and really boosting it up so that we're able to bring that into the games and have that mentality of like we're going to go up there and we're going to block the hitter every single time will really be beneficial to us.
You can watch the game at 7 p.m. on ESPN+. Number 23 soccer lost in the Big 12 semifinal match to BYU 4-0 Wednesday. In the 30th and 36th minutes, BYU added a pair of goals from Ellie Walbert and Madden Summers-Ovat. In the 52nd minute, the Bears earned 5 consecutive corner kicks within 4 minutes, but none of the attempts found the back of the net. The Cougars added to their lead with another goal by Walbert and one more from Ella Lambrum in the 78th minute. On Monday, the Bears will find out their postseason fate with the 2025 NCAA Selection Show being hosted at 3 p.m. Number 9, Baylor Equestrian hits the road to face number 5, Oklahoma State Friday. The Bears picked up their first win of the season after a match against number 6, Fresno State, 12-5 in Baylor's home opener. The Cowgirls currently lead the all-time series over the Bears, 39-14. The two last faced off last season in the Big 12 Championship semifinals, where Baylor earned event wins 3-2. The Bears will head back to Waco to host SMU to close out the fall slate on Friday, November 14th. As always, the Lariat will keep you up to date on all things Baylor athletics. Stick with us for updates on your favorite teams. Back to you guys.
Closes out our newscast this week. Make sure you're keeping up to date by following all Baylor Lariat socials.
We hope to see you next Friday. Thank you for being a part of our history, and as always, Sic 'em Bears.